Hello all you amazing people, and remember you're always amazing because you clicked on a small YouTuber's video. Currently we're at 482 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. We're only 18 away and then we're already at 500, so thank you guys so much. And yeah, in today's video we're going to be doing Kazuha plus Hu Tao. I personally was like, this might not work, so I said Raiden would be my last video with Kazuha. I don't know if I included it in the video, but I said that. And well, it did sort of work, so I'm gonna be just showing that. And now here is the team in question. You might think, hey, doesn't Hu Tao want, like, you know, to be below 50% HP? But in this team, it doesn't really matter. And also, just for reference, C5 Bennett already negates the fact that Hu Tao does more damage under 50% HP. So you could try and use Kujosara instead of Bennett, but the amounts of, like, just setup that requires, and also just unnecessary time that you're gonna have to use, rather than, hey, we're just gonna do slightly more damage, because I do know the damage numbers because I had to test this to make sure it even worked, so I had a video. But yeah, so let's get over here. I'm gonna be testing it on this boss because Mago Kinki is just, he's so annoying to fight. Honestly, they gave us a testing dummy and then they made him run around, and unless it's a burst that is snapshotting, Kazuha and Bennett, they're not good on Masanori. It's so awful having to go and pop both of their bursts and then be like, oh, Masanori's out of both of their circles. Great, I love this king. I've done like 50 showcases, so at this point it's just like secondhand nature to me to like figure out, oh yeah, Masanori sucks. He's gonna do all the blocking that he can. I don't exactly know if this guy has, you know, decreased pyro resistance because he's cryo, but I'm assuming that he doesn't. I just feel like he has increased hydro or cryo resistance. So we're gonna do this. Obviously I'm only doing this for showcase purposes. 45,000. Okay, hold on, it worked earlier, I swear. All right, so 75,000 you saw there. It worked earlier, I swear. Hold on. And this is now the same problem is sort of happening here, but the problem here is the fact that the big rock guy is a little too big, and he's like basically half the circle is just cut off from being able to be put on. So your character will naturally, or Hu Tao will naturally just go around him when like you're pressing W. This is a showcase setting. I'm not really sure how well this is gonna work in Spiral Abyss, but we're gonna test, and I'll show all my stats at the end of this video. But I don't know. This team, it's pretty good. I'm trying to use the Xingqiu E skill because it is a lot easier if I don't, because it just takes up time and stuff. And then we're gonna do this. Then we can do this. If my Hu Tao crit, that would be nice. I don't know why she's decided to not crit. How? Like, I don't understand anymore. I legitimately don't understand. I did this flawlessly 3 times in a row. And now Hu Tao's just like, no, I'm not critting. She has like 60% crit rate and she just missed like 4. Okay, 57. But still, she missed so many attacks. The problem I'm running into is the fact that Kazuha and Bennett's buff just does not last long enough. Bennett's buff goes away so fast, and I mean, Kazuha is only 8 seconds, right? Yeah, so it's 8 seconds, but then Bennett's buff is still 12. So I'm popping Bennett's buff, and then he's just immediately, it feels like I get like 2 charge attacks in, and then Bennett's buff is just gone. I wish the duration for these things were so much longer, man. It's so annoying when you're trying to do these. I feel like you're better off if you're doing this team, but instead of, you know, doing her like charge attacks, you were doing her burst. I feel like that would be so much better, because you're putting all of that damage into one singular hit, which works so much better with Kazuha and Bennett because of their timers. So it's just, it makes it a lot better. But I don't have a Hu Tao burst build. I have her with charge attack builds because that's normally where she's getting her damage from. And honestly, I have so many characters on Emblem, I'm not ready to build a 5th. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Let's go. I just did Kazuha.
Let me weave you a verse.
All right, come on. 30,000? 70,000 is the best I can get. Why? I hate this. I don't know why I did Kazuha's burst before. That sucked so much. So while editing the video, I figured maybe there's a chance that when I was doing the the private testing where I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna test this, I was using the benefits of my C1 Kazuha, and I've noticed that I haven't used a single E-skill because I've been trying to, have this go as fast as possible, and I'm wondering if maybe because I didn't use the E-skill at all, that maybe the damage suffered, and why I'm only able to do 73k instead of 90k. Maybe there's a 20k difference between me doing my E-skill and me not doing my E-skill for Kazuha. I'm not really sure how likely that is, but we're gonna test it out. I'm sorry if the audio is a little bad on this section, just because I have a couple fans going in the background. My room gets very, very hot, so basically whenever I record a video, my fans are off, and then it gets really hot. Like which is why some videos I'm like, all right, let's wrap this up really quick, because I'm not ready to do this. I really am not ready to do this. All right, cool. Do this, and 45k, 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 45k. Yeah. I think the problem is the problem is the fact that there's too much pyro. There is just too much pyro. And I figured that would be the problem from the start. Like, I figured, hey, if we're gonna have a problem with this, then there's too much pyro. So the vaporizes actually do get very, very, disrupted, because I've seen the 93k, but I guess that's maybe with a lucky shot. I got the 93k because Hu Tao was able to vaporize there, but as you saw, I wasn't able to vaporize at all there, which is why the 45k come out. And if you realize, hey, I've got 210 elemental mastery. If we did a vaporize, that's where I saw the 93k. So vaporizes is 1.5, but we get 36% extra. So instead of it being around, I think it's it's gonna be a little bit more. But it's 93k. It's more than melt would be if you had 0 elemental mastery. But I forgot to show my build again. Sorry, but now we have the builds. 57% crit rate, 219% crit damage with 110% energy recharge. Then we have Staff of Homa here. Staff of Homa, I've had it forever. I think it was the first banner, the first 5-star weapon I had. We have an Elemental Mastery Sands, because that's basically what you want when you do vaporizes. And I will say, this team, I would not recommend. Just last final thoughts on this team. This team is not worth it. I can use the same artifacts that I'm using on my Kazuha on Sucrose, and Hu Tao will consistently do 83,000. While, yay, we hit bigger screenshot number with this team, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. So I'm gonna say, no, this team is not good enough. This is one of the only teams I've actually been, confused about. I knew that this would be a problem, but I don't think I've actually had any other problems with any other teams from what I remember. The Raiden team that I tried to use, obviously I had a problem with, which was just a Ting Cho trying to get absorbed. But if you're doing hyper carry Raiden, it's easy. But yeah, still, I would not recommend this team. You get Sucrose, and I'm comparing this to a C1 Sucrose, I believe. Yeah, C1 Sucrose buffs Hu Tao more, and depending on how much damage Kazuha is actually doing here, could be worth it. I did mention a burst build. I think those teams do use Kazuha on it. However, I don't have a burst build for her. I tried a burst build and it did not go well. And let's just say that I tried a burst build. There's a reason why it's cut out of the video. We'll end it at that. Here's my feather. It is literally just pure crit rate. I have been holding on to that forever. That is the only thing that's saving my crit rate right now. I need so much more crit rate. I have so much crit damage on my artifacts. I could easily switch over to one of these other ones, like this one. I would easily do this. I don't know. That's 25% crit damage, 14% health, and 23 elements of mastery I'd be giving up. The amount of damage that I give up just for 6% crit rate, I would need a little bit more crit rate for that. And then 15% attack on there. Yeah, and I have this great pyro damage goblet. Would be better if it had crit rate. And then I got a crit rate hat. I am awfully unlucky with crit rate hats, and any hats basically. If it's not an off piece, then it's just trash. Look at this. Defense This thing sucks. And then we go to Ito's and it sucks too. Like, this is awful. And then let's go over here and I have her triple crowned. I really do want to end up using a burst build Hu Tao, not only because it's more damage overall, but I don't know, I never use her burst with this. I feel like Yoimiya, but at least Yoimiya has a lackluster burst to begin with. I'm sorry, but it's true. Like, Yoimiya has a very bad burst. But I will say Yoimiya did better with Kazuha. I'll say that. If we're doing official on this slot, yeah, Yoimiya is doing 10 times better than Kazuha. Overall, I feel like Kazuha just nerfs the damage because my Hu Tao will literally do 2 times the damage. So I think it's actually just worse to add him to this team. However, it doesn't mean he's a bad unit. He buffs so many other units, and honestly, he can buff Hu Tao. I just don't have the right team for it. And then here we have my Kazuha at level 10, level 8, and he's C1, but I'm gonna C2 him. I was really excited for this because I saw, oh yeah, he'll give 200% elemental mastery to Hu Tao. Maybe I'll be able to do one day a melts, burst damage build, and the C2 Kazuha will be amazing with it. But yeah, and then he's literally just EM everywhere, just EM, only EM, just pure EM, nothing else. He's got has no crit rate, crit damage. He has 38% energy recharge, which is pretty nice considering, Kazuha needs energy. It's actually, I didn't realize it before, but he does need a decent amount. I would say like 170 would be good. My Bennett build is literally just maximum flat attack here, like base attack, I mean. It's just 865, Aquila Favonia. His artifacts are just a whole bunch of energy recharge, and I think I have 2 HP percents. Yeah, I have 2 HP percents, and they're not even leveled. His constellations are 0, and his burst is level 10. Xingqiu is level 12, level 9, level 1. His C6, which C6 does apparently... I hate when they don't, actually say anything about, the appliance of anything. Because I didn't know that this thing affected your Hydro appliance. I knew. I've known for a long time, but it never says it. Yeah, he's just looking at a whole bunch of weak artifacts. They're not that good at all. He's using Sack Sword. It's your average Xingqiu build that's just pretty okay. Yeah, I like very minimal artifacts. It's really bad. But basically, I'm going to be redoing all of my showcases that I used Kazuha in with a C2 Kazuha now. So if you want to see those, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.